My children, you are the modern descendants of King Cadmus who founded our city. Why do you come here with these laurel branches, ritually dressed and all the signs of desperate people begging for help? In the city I hear prayers for the sick and the sound of weeping. The air is heavy with incense and tears. What more do you want? I can't rely on second-hand reports. I've come to find out for myself. I am Oedipus the king. Everyone knows my name. You, sir, you are a priest, a man old enough to be wise and entitled to speak first. A sudden panic, is it, or a demand for action? Anything I can do, I will do, of course. I would have to be a man without pity to close my eyes and stop my ears to a petition from everyone such as this.
King Oedipus, Lord of Thebes, you see us, many hundreds, crowding to your palace. Youngsters like birds still in the nest, old men whose eyes have seen everything, priests of Zeus like me and of other gods, and the very best of our young men. We have all come here. There are thousands more sitting in the marketplace carrying emblems like these, others at the two altars of Pallas Athene, and at Ismena's shrine by the riverbank where the future can be read in the ashes. And we are all offering desperate prayers. You've seen yourself what's happening here. This city is like a warship defeated in battle, wallowing aimlessly in a sea of blood. The crops are rotting in the fields. Disease is killing all the cattle. Babies are born dead or decay in the womb. And as if that wasn't enough, some god has sent plague like a fire demon to scorch our people. The courtyards Cadmus built will soon be empty. The underworld is already crowded with Thebans weeping in the darkness for themselves and their kin. If we choose to come here to beg for help, it's not because we think of you as a god, but because we know you to be the best of men, not only in the daily business of the state, but in those deeper mysteries of life, where the mind of man touches eternity. We haven't forgotten that it was you, a young man, newly arrived here, who solved the riddle of the Sphinx, that monstrous perversion of woman, lion, and bird, and freed us from her magical tyranny. We could do nothing to help you then, and I think, we all think, some god helped you. That's why, world-famous Oedipus, we're asking for your help again. Find us some remedy, either from your own experience or by calling on supernatural powers. You've solved terrible problems in the past, and that gives us confidence in your abilities now. Indeed, you have a reputation to live up to. Your genius has saved us once. It would be ridiculous to preserve us then, only to see us wasted now. Save us again as you did before. Sail under that same lucky star and guide us, as a real prince should, into the harbor of good fortune and peace. An unmanned ship needs no captain. A city that is empty because its people are dead has no further use for a king.
My children, believe me when I say I know everything you're suffering. Why you come here and what you ask of me. I suffer as much, perhaps more than you do. You carry your personal burdens of sorrow. I carry them too, and my own, and the city's. I've not been sleeping. My eyes, like yours, are bloodshot with too frequent tears. I've walked every corridor in the palace and all the secret galleries of my mind, searching and searching what best to do. And this much I have done, because I haven't been idle, the one thing that seems sensible. My brother-in-law, Creon, the son of Menocius, I have sent to the oracle of Apollo at Delphi to ask the Pythia, the sacred priestess, what action or word of mine might help. He ought to be here. His mission has taken far longer than it should, and I begin to wonder what keeps him so long. When he arrives, whatever the oracle demands, you have my word, will be meticulously performed.
No man can say better than that, nor on a better cue. Look, there's the signal. Creon himself is approaching.
Whatever the message, he's certainly smiling. Apollo, god of healing, let the news be good.
It must be good. He moves like a man confident of his success.
He can hear us now. Dear brother-in-law, son of Menocius. What is the god's message? What does the oracle say?
It's good news. Or perhaps I should say it will be good news if all turns out well, though perhaps painful to begin with.
And what does that mean? At such an answer, I don't know if I should laugh or cry.
Do you want me to say it all here in public, or shall we go in?
In public, of course. While these people suffer, I suffer too. Their life concerns me more than my own.
The answer is straightforward and the command simple. There is something unclean in our city. Born here, living here. It pollutes everything. We harbor it. We must drive it out.
But how can it be purified? The pollution of this unclean thing. What is it?
By banishment or by blood for blood. It was bloodshed, the oracle said, that whipped up this storm that's destroying us.
Whose blood was shed? What sort of man?
There was a king here, sir, before you came. His name was Laius.
I know the name. I never saw the man.
The man was killed. And the oracle's meaning is clear enough. The murderers of Laius must be found and the unknown killers brought to justice.
But where are they? The trail's gone cold. It's an old story now. Where should we begin?
Here. The god said here. Search and you won't be disappointed. No evidence is ever found if you don't look for it.
Where did it happen, this unexplained murder? Was it here in the palace, or in the country, or while he was traveling abroad?
He left the city to make a pilgrimage, and he never returned except in a coffin.
And who was with him? Didn't anyone see it? There must be evidence, some scrap, some rumor.
One of the servants escaped. He ran so fast he could only remember one thing.
What thing? Tell me. The smallest clue might lead to others.
He said that robbers, not one man, a whole band of them, met them on the road, and they murdered the king.
Robbers? Would they dare attack a king? Perhaps they were bought. Theban money and political ambition, the motive.
Oh, we thought that too at first, but the crisis blew up almost at once. We had other problems. Laius was dead. No one pursued it.
What crisis could be greater than a murdered king? So there never was a full investigation?
The voice of the Sphinx seemed to mesmerize us. She drained all our energies with her riddling. It was a question of survival. No time for unsolved mysteries, even regicide.
Then I shall begin it. There's time enough now. We'll shine a fresh light into every corner of the whole dark and musty business. Thanks to the Lord Apollo, and our gratitude to you, Creon, for reminding us what we had forgotten, our duty to the dead. I am determined to do everything I can to help our city and to show the gods justice. It's in my interests, too, to avenge this crime, not only for Laius' sake, but for my own protection. This unknown killer might strike at me. Justice for Laius and my own safety go hand in hand. So go to your homes. Dear people, my children, Pick up your sad sprays of laurel, call the Theban counselors here, and tell them that I shall do everything a man can do. With a God's help, we shall find out the truth and save our city. We must, or be destroyed.
Go home now, good people. The king has promised everything we came to ask for. Apollo, the healer, whose priestess gave us good answers, may come himself to cure this sickness of man and beast. Let us pray for that.
Sweet as music from the house of gold. The priestess speaks through sunlit Thebes, and the god speaks through her. But his meaning's obscure. My hands are shaking, my heart is cold, on the rack with fear. From your island of Delos, supreme physician, send us your antidote to ease these plagues.
Is this torture unique?
For the old condition of suffering man through the centuries.
The golden child of hope never dies.
And we live by her prophecy.
Ever-living Athene, wise daughter of Zeus, we sing first to you.
And your chaste sister Artemis, the deer slayer queen, whose stony eyes watch in the marketplace from her marble throne.
And Foreman Apollo, infallible marksman.
Trinity of deity, show us your power. Purge our diseases and save our nation.
If ever you saved us in the days of disaster,
When the plague enforced its reign of terror,
And the fire consumed us that no man could master. Agonies are beyond telling.
a whole city
Slowly die.
from an enemy no man can fight. Slime and fungus on orchard and meadow. Death in the womb.
and birth in the shadow of death.
And in the mother's sight.
Men die without number, like birds flying.
Like fire consuming
Despairing. Crying.
as they pass to the shadows of night.
The smell of the dead, the street stinking.
Breeds death and more death, beyond all counting.
No tears as her children die.
From the girl wife and the grey-haired mother.
Tearing their nails at the crowded altar, accusing the implacable sky.
Hear Apollo, Athene all-knowing. Can you not hear a whole city screaming? Will you not answer our cry? Now let the bloodstained god of war
whose savage music I hear, though no swords clash or shields ring, be driven from our city.
For the only song is the groan of the dying,
the whimper of fear.
Rout him, the manslayer! Let him fly in disorder! Let him hide his head in some bleak Thracian bay! Or ease himself in Amphitrite's bed!
Now, whoever survives the night dies at first light.
Great Father Zeus, you who punish with fire, incinerate the god of war, before we all lie dead! Stand by us now, wolfish god king, hold forth your golden bowstring, and let fire your shaft that never misses, and hard-riding Artemis, whose torches flare on the Lycian slopes, trailing sparks as you pass,
and God of ecstasy, Bacchus above all, whose drowsy peace inspires and protects our city.
God of the golden turban and flushed face, why your resinous torchlight we stamp and cry?
As your Maenads sweep by from the frenzied east,
Why to us wielding ecstatic fire? To burn this living God, whom the gods themselves despise!
You have prayed to the gods. Now listen to me. If you act as I tell you to act, follow my instructions in every detail, those prayers will soon be answered. I speak as an outsider. I know nothing of this story, the murder or the murderer. So without your help, and hardly a clue to go on alone, what trail can I follow? When the crime was committed, I wasn't even a citizen of Thebes. So first, I'll make a public proclamation. If any man here knows the killer's name, he must speak out now in public to me. Perhaps one of you is the guilty man. If that man is here and gives himself up now, it will be easier for him. There will be no capital charge. The severest sentence I shall pronounce will be exile. No greater punishment than that. Or maybe one of you has inside knowledge that some foreigner was the killer. If you turn informer, you will be well paid. I shall see to that. But my gratitude will be the truest, most satisfying reward. If, however, that man is here and refuses to speak, or if anyone, out of fear for himself, his friends, or his family, ignores these offers and then is discovered to be sheltering someone or himself, on that man I pass sentence already. It doesn't matter who he is. I, Oedipus, forbid any man to speak with or give shelter to that man in this city or in the country under my rule. No one may pray with him, make sacrifices with him, or even allow him to wash in his house. Everyone will throw him out of doors as the perpetrator of this horrible crime that brings such suffering on our city, according to the prophetic word of Apollo, as revealed to me by the Delphic oracle. I stand here as the champion of the god. And of the dead king, too. The man himself, the murderer. With all solemnity I curse him, whether he acted alone or with others, to bear the mark of this crime for the rest of his life, without friends, homeless, and in misery. I'll go further. I don't even exclude myself. If knowingly I should shelter this criminal in any house or hearth, or any place of mine, let the curse I have uttered fall on me too as fiercely as on anyone. That is my sentence. And it's up to you to see it fully carried out, for the God's sake, for my sake, and the sake of our plague-ridden, God-deserted city. To be honest with you, I am surprised that no purification ceremonies or investigations were undertaken when so excellent a king as Laius was inexplicably murdered. Even without the God's command, that should have been looked into, I should have thought. Now, however, I am king. I enjoy Laius' title, his bed, and his wife. She is a kind of common ground between us, and his children, indeed, if he had had any, would be another bond, sharing a mother with mine. And he was the sad victim of this tragedy. These links between us and my feeling for the man make me determined to fight for him now as if he were my own father. Nothing will be too much trouble to ferret him out, this destroyer of Laius, the heir to Labdacus, and all the ancient kings of Thebes, back to Cadmus himself and Agenor his father. And if any man dares to disobey these orders, let the gods' curses fall on him too. Barren earth, barren cattle, a barren wife, and all the horrors this suffering city daily endures without mercy till the end of his life. For the honest people of Thebes, who follow me in intention and action, justice be ours, and the gods' help today and every day.
That curse will frighten any man, great king of Thebes, and it terrifies me.
I am not the killer, let me say that at once.
And I can't point him out or tell you his name.
The god Apollo asked this question.
He, if anyone, should tell us the answer.
I don't doubt that, but if you can tell me how a man persuades a god to speak when the god doesn't want to, I shall thank you for it.
One other thing might be worth saying.
Second best, admittedly.
Second best, third best, say what you think. Any man's opinion is worth hearing at a time like this.
The prophet and astrologer Tiresias has studied the mysteries of men and gods.
He has knowledge and experience and insight. He, more than anyone, could help us now.
Which is why I've sent for him already. Nothing, my friends, has been overlooked. Creon suggested it. I've sent for him twice and expected him here some time ago.
There were rumors, of course. Gossip in the marketplace.
Rumors? What rumors? You must tell me everything.
That travelers killed him.
Somewhere on the road. I've heard that already. There are no witnesses.
But when your curse has been made public, someone may come forward. Hearing that, it would take a brave man to keep silent.
No murderer fears words if he can stomach murder.
Here comes the man to tease out the truth. The blind man. The shaman, Tiresias.
He sees into the heart of things.
And has solved more mysteries than any man living.
Tiresias. Yourself master of all the arts of understanding, both mystic symbolism and practical wisdom. The highest spiritual truths and the most down-to-earth material realities are equally your province. You see the state of our city, not with your eyes, I know, but with your intellect. We rely on you as our spiritual champion. We sent to the oracle, you'll have heard that already, and the answer we were given: find out the killers of the old king, execute them or banish them, and only then will your city be clean. So, Maestro, we need your talents now. We know that in the formations of birds in flight and many other omens, you can read the future. For your own sake, for the sake of the city, and for me, help us to end this pestilence. A dead man walks in our streets, blinds us with his shadow. We're in your hands. The gifted man puts his gifts to best use in the service of his fellow men.
Mine is a terrifying gift. What use is wisdom when it only leads to suffering? I knew this before I came and foolishly forgot it. I should have stayed at home.
That's a gloomy answer. What's it supposed to mean?
Please let me go home. Things will be best that way. You will bear your burden. I will bear mine.
Do you refuse to answer my question? This is Thebes, your country. You were born here.
I've heard your proclamation. It's misconceived. So it's best for me to keep silent.
Dear gods, you mean that you know and won't say? Look, Look around at us, the whole city. We're all imploring you to speak.
That is because you are all blind to what I can see. I can't tell you. The truth is painful. My secret and yours.
You do know it, don't you? And you're holding back. Are you prepared to watch the whole country die?
I'm saving you from agony and myself. Don't ask me again. Don't waste your time. I shall tell you nothing.
Nothing? What kind of a monster are you? A stone statue will be moved to fury, much less a man. Do you mean this? Are you determined to say nothing?
You lose your temper. Make me your scapegoat. When it's your own anger you should blame.
Do you hear him? What this man is saying? This is an insult to the state. Every decent citizen will be outraged.
I can't change the future, only describe it. What will happen, whatever I say.
It's your duty to say what you know. If it must come, you must tell me.
Lose your temper. Shout stamp if that pleases you. I shall say nothing more.
Yes, I shall be angry. And more than angry, I understand this much. I understand that you were implicated, maybe even planned this murder, did everything but act it, and would have done that too, in my opinion, if you'd had eyes to see a victim.
Would I indeed? You compel me to speak. The curse you proclaimed is now upon your head. From today, never to speak to me or anyone. You are the man, the unclean thing, the dirt that breeds disease.
Do you dare to accuse me? You slander me in public and think your fortune-telling gives you some kind of immunity.
I don't need it. The truth is its own protector.
Someone's behind this. Who told you to say that? There's more to this than fortune-telling.
You did. You made me say it against my will.
Say it again, so there will be no doubt.
Didn't you hear? Or do you want me to elaborate?
I heard, but I didn't believe my ears. Say it again, aloud, to everybody.
You are the murderer of the murdered king.
Twice, to my face, you will regret this, old man.
Indulge your anger if it pleases you. I could say more to make you angrier still.
Why not? More and more lunacy. Let's have it all.
I know, but you do not. That the woman you love is not the woman you love. That the relationship is disgusting, taboo, and in your ignorance will destroy you.
Do you expect to say such things and not be punished?
The truth protects me, if I tell it honestly.
The truth? What's the truth to you? You're blind all over. Ears, mind, as well as eyes.
I pity you. People will scream the same insults at you before long. Everyone will despise you.
You live in darkness permanently. You see nothing of the real world. My eyes are open. You can't hurt me.
How could I, an old man? It's not my business. Apollo will do it. It's in his hands.
Creon, of course. He went to the oracle. This plot is his doing, not yours.
Creon isn't your enemy. You are.
Political rank, wealth and power, and men's ambitions clawing at each other till life becomes a battleground and envy everyone's motive. Creon is and has been my friend. I trusted him completely. This crown was given to me freely by the people. I didn't ask for it. And this man, my friend, is secretly plotting to overthrow me with a spiritual quack, a charlatan, a paranormal stuntman whose eyes are stone blind when it comes to prophecy, but where money's concerned, very sharp then, wide open then. Astrology, fortune-telling, forecasting the future. Where was all that when we needed it? There was a monster here. Do you remember? I'm sure you do. With the face of a woman and the body of a dog who terrorized our city. Where were you then? What was your advice to save this country? She set a riddle which no ordinary man could solve. Someone special was required. What else are prophets for? But you hadn't a clue, had you? Not a word, not the slightest suggestion. And then I came along, a young man, quite ignorant, knowing nothing, with only the wit my mother gave me. But I stopped her mouth. I did it. Oedipus, I guessed her riddle without any gobbledygook about birds. And I, Oedipus, I am the man you hope to depose, you and Creon, so that he will be king and you his good. Oh, well, you will regret it. You'll both regret this attempt to turn me into a scapegoat. If you weren't an old man, punishment would teach you the difference between prophecy and sedition.
The king! To speak in anger, both of you have done helps none of us, as far as I can judge, when our city is dying.
We must consider the god's command and how to obey it.
You may be king, but I am a free man, and I have the right to answer. I serve Apollo the god, not you nor Creon. You sneer at my blindness. You have eyes, but cannot see your own corruption. Nor who she is you love the most, not even whose son you are. In your ignorance you have committed terrible crimes against those closest to you, the living and the dead. A double curse like a two-edged sword, father and mother, will drive you from this city into exile forever. And what a cripple you'll be then. Those bright eyes, that perfect vision you were so proud of, will become dark like mine. There will be no place on earth that has not heard the sound of your pain. The wildest heathland of Kithaeron, even its cliffs and ravines, will echo to your bellowing when you understand how those melodious marriage songs deceived you when they led you to that safe harbor you imagined here. Then unaccountable miseries, sufferings you cannot guess at, will become familiar both to you and to your children as you pile your agonies upon their heads. Accuse Creon of every crime, slander him, despise what I say. Every man in the world will despise you, and no man has committed crimes like yours.
I don't have to listen to you. Why should I? Get him out of my sight, now, at once. Take him back where he came from.
Yes, I'll go. You brought me here. Remember that. I didn't want to come.
If I'd known what I'd have to listen to. The ravings of a lunatic. Believe me, I'd have left you in peace.
You think I was born a fool? Your parents wouldn't think so.
Why this continual harping upon my parents? Who fathered me?
Today, you will father your own destruction. Conceive the truth of your birth and death.
Speak plainly, don't talk in riddles.
Why not? You have a genius for solving them.
Yes. I'm famous for it. And your sneers and insults won't make me any the less incisive.
That fame is your misfortune.
I saved the state with my genius. What does it matter to me what you choose to call it?
Now I shall go. Give me your hand, boy. Take me home.
Yes, take him, and good riddance. We can do without you. Rave in your own house and spare mine.
I'll go. I've said what I came to say, and I've said it to your face. Why should I be frightened? You no longer have the power to hurt me. But I will say one thing more. The man you're looking for, the man you cursed and threatened, the murderer of liars, is here! He passes for a foreigner who lives in Thebes, but he was born here, and will learn that to his cost. He could see when he came here, he will leave blind. He's a rich man now. He will go as a beggar, groping with a stick in his hand, tapping his way. He will leave this city into endless exile. To his children, whom he loves, he is brother and father. To the woman who bore him, lover and son. To his father, a killer, and the man who supplants him. Go in, set your genius to solve those riddles. Call me a blind man, when you proved them untrue.
Voice of Apollo's vessel intones from the rock of Delphi.
Far let that man fly, for his hands trail blood from a sin the oracle blushes to whisper.
Faster than the storm, his horse must run, outstrip the wind.
Thundering Zeus' son gallops behind, grasp in his fist the lethal lightning.
And the hounds of the gods, the unsleeping fates close in like a circle tightening.
From the snowbound crest of Parnassus, the word was transmitted to Thebes.
You must find this killer!
Lurking like a thief in the night.
Drag him into the light!
Like a mountain bull where the forests are thicker, the caves bleaker, he creeps.
Barred from the company of men.
Hopelessly flies the voice of those bleak prophecies.
That buzz and sting at his face.
No distance from Earth's center point.
Delphi's sacred summit
is too far for Apollo's vengeance. Tiresias has spread fear and confusion.
Should we believe him or not?
For us, best to keep quiet.
I'm like jelly, uncertain what's happening or will happen.
Was there ever a row in the past?
Or is there now?
Between Polybus' son and the ruling line of Thebes, the house of Labdacus?
Not that I ever heard.
What could be more absurd than to blacken,
With no proof,
Oedipus' name?
By pinning this unsolved murder on him. The secrets of man, all the mysteries of his nature, are known to Zeus and Apollo.
No one can claim a monopoly of wisdom. One teacher is as good as another, perhaps no better than any of us.
some may see deeper, and some may not. Because wisdom is a jointure unequally shared among men.
But what was done must be known beyond doubt.
Oedipus saved our state.
He publicly outwitted the Sphinx.
Like gold, he was tested and found true.
We must see his guilt proved.
Citizens, members of the council, they tell me the king has charged me with subversion. I am innocent of any such charge. The city is on its knees. Does he imagine at a time like this I would injure him by any word or action? I'd rather die than be smeared like that. It is a smear to be accused of treason before you and my friends and my countrymen.
He lost his temper and made wild accusations.
I think he spoke without thought.
Did he say that the old prophet lied under my instructions? Who gave him that idea?
He did say it. But why he said it, or whether he meant it, is a matter of opinion.
Is he right in the head? Did he speak rationally and look you in the eye, or has he gone mad?
I've got more common sense than to make judgments like that on a king's actions.
Here he comes from the palace. He'll speak for himself.
What have you come for? I hardly imagined you'd be thick-skinned enough to come knocking at my doors again when you're planning to murder me and take my power. Do you imagine I'm afraid of you? Or stupid? Or am I just too blind to notice a conspiracy to overthrow me? Or not bright enough to do anything about it? And what a conspiracy! You need plenty of friends and financial backing to capture a throne. Revolutions are made with men and the money to pay them or buy them.
Can I speak in my own defense? Judge me when you've heard my answer, not before.
Creon, you've always been a brilliant talker, but talk cuts no ice with me. I've seen the evidence of your actions. Betrayal, sedition.
You let me speak.
Say what you like, but don't protest your innocence. That would be too much.
Do you really think that closing your mind, a boneheaded refusal to listen, is a sensible way of proceeding?
Do you really think that I can allow you to plot a palace revolution and do nothing about it because you're my brother-in-law?
Only a fool would allow that, I agree, if it were happening. There is no revolution in the palace or anywhere. No conspiracy. What am I supposed to have done?
It was you who advised me to send for that canting prophet.
Yes, it was. Good advice. I'd give it again.
Tell me, how long ago did Laius...
Did Laius what? I don't follow you.
He died mysteriously. How long ago was that?
Years and years. I can hardly remember.
Yeah, and this fortune teller, he was here then already in the prophecy business?
Respected then as now for his skill and integrity.
And did he mention me when the murder happened?
Not in my hearing.
And did you not hold an inquest or some kind of investigation?
There was an inquiry, but it revealed nothing.
And this respected prophet, why did he say nothing then of what he has said today?
I have no idea. I never say anything unless I'm in full possession of the facts.
But one thing you do know, and you'd be wise to tell me...
What can I say? Everything I know, I'll tell you. I'll keep nothing back.
You know this much. Without your prompting, the fortune teller would never have dared to accuse me of the murder of Laius.
Did he say that? Then you must know whether he's lying or telling the truth, not I. Am I permitted to interrogate you?
Why not? I've got nothing to hide. You will never pin this murder on me.
Are you married to my sister?
What kind of a question's that? I can hardly deny it, can I? I do have that honor.
She shares the throne, both title and revenue.
Of course she does. What's mine is hers.
And I am the third partner. I have my share of power and responsibility.
You've always had it. All the more disgusting to conspire against me behind my back.
But I haven't conspired against you. Ask yourself, as I ask myself, whether any sane man would willingly exchange a quiet life within the ruling family for the wear and tear, the grueling responsibility of government. It has never crossed my mind. I have no ambition to be king in name or in fact. I live like a king. Sometimes I hope I act like one, and that's enough. No sensible man would want more than that. If I had your job, there'd be too many things I wouldn't like doing, and no more satisfaction from the kingship itself than I get now from royal rank without royal obligations. I'm not so drunk with the prospect of power as to envy a position that yields no profit. Look at me now. Everyone knows me. Everyone loves me. I think. Anyone who seeks to get your attention first tries for mine, because my influence guarantees success. Why should I change such a favorable situation? Is it likely I'd be such a fool as to break with you in such conditions as far as to commit treason? As a political policy, it has nothing to recommend it. It's not mine nor the policy of any of my friends, not if I know them. If you want proof, send to the priestess at the oracle, check the message I brought if it was true, produce some evidence of conspiracy between the blind man and me, prove that, and condemn me to death out of hand. My verdict in those conditions will be as merciless as any man's. But to condemn me like this, without any evidence, I cannot endure that. If mere supposition unsupported is all your evidence, you can call bad men honest and decent citizens crooks and villains, and justice will be done to none of them. A reliable friend is a precious possession, worth a man's life. Throw friendship away, you destroy something living and irreplaceable. The truth of this will emerge in time. Time is the one incorruptible judge. 1 minute is long enough to accuse a man. To prove his innocence takes longer.
If you weigh his words, they make good sense. Well worth a prudent man's consideration.
Quick judgments are not always the wisest.
Conspiracies don't take their time. I keep on the move. And counterintelligence must move fast too, or be caught napping. Shall I sit and do nothing while he takes power and my own sluggishness destroys me?
What you want then, to have me banished?
Banished? Oh, no. I want you dead.
What have I done to provoke such jealousy?
Are you still so obstinate, still pretending?
Yes, I am, because you're not thinking straight.
I know where my best interests lie.
And what about mine?
You are a traitor.
And you are mistaken.
Kings must take decisions.
Not wrong decisions.
Oh, Thebes, my city.
Thebes is my city as well as yours.
Stop this brawling, quick!
Jocasta is coming from the palace.
She will help us to put an end to this quarrel.
What is all this shouting? From inside the palace, I heard angry voices like a quarrel. Aren't you ashamed? Indulging yourself in private arguments, squabbling like boys while the city dies all around you. Go inside, my husband. And you too. Creon, go back to your own house before you turn a private row into a public spectacle.
Sister, we are blood relations. But your husband has condemned me unheard to the choice of death or exile.
Certainly I have, and that, dear wife, is the least I can do.
May all the gods curse me forever if I was even remotely guilty.
Oedipus, you must believe him. An oath like that can't be taken lightly. Believe him, for my sake and for the sake of these reliable counselors. They heard it all.
Great king, be prepared to change your mind. Are you asking me to break my word?
No man ever questioned his integrity. He confirms it by oath. Show some leniency.
Do you know what you're asking?
Certainly we do.
Say it openly then. Let everyone know.
He's your long-trusted friend. Above suspicion. Don't condemn him by hearsay, and in spite of his oath.
Don't you understand your own implications? Spare him and you demand my banishment or death.
By the life-giving sun, that necessary power by whose warmth we live, such a terrible thought never crossed my mind.
I had far rather be an outcast, godless, friendless, despised and distraught, than in face such a destiny.
Our city is in anguish. What greater blow could fall on us in our misery than anger and hatred between you two?
Then let him go. Even if my death, exile, or disgrace is the price of his mercy, your voice buys his pardon, not his. Wherever he hides his face, and my back-breaking hatred be his burden.
Your apology is as graceless as your anger's insane. An unforgiving nature breeds misery in its own heart, not that of its enemy.
Leave me alone! I want you gone!
Yes, I'll go. They respect my integrity. I am misjudged by you alone.
Take the king inside, madam. Speak to him in private.
What caused this quarrel? Who began it?
Rumors were mentioned, unfounded suspicions, then the anger that follows unjust accusations.
But both men were at fault then.
Yes, madam, they were.
Tell me all the details. You can speak without fear.
We have troubles enough. Best to keep silent in all our interests. Let sleeping dogs lie.
Your intentions are honorable, but your advice is pregnant with disaster. All the guilt falls on me.
Great king, believe me when I say again what I have said before. We would be stark mad to counsel an action so insane as to cast you out without proof.
We need your help and guidance. We all remember how, like a pilot in that desperate storm, half-wrecked you navigated us to harbor.
You are our captain in rough weather or calm.
Please tell me, what harm can Creon have done to provoke such fury so suddenly? I am worthy your trust.
These old men mean well, but you matter to me far more. It's Creon. I'm sickened with disgust at the scope of his conspiracy.
What conspiracy, and why do you accuse my brother?
He says I'm responsible for Laius' murder.
Has he any evidence, or is it hearsay?
He says nothing himself. That corrupt fortune teller speaks for him with his bird talk and prophecy.
And is that all? Set your mind at rest. No one can forecast the future. I know what I'm talking about from personal experience. I have proof. When Laius was alive, an oracle told him, not the god himself, but through his mouthpiece, that he would be killed by his own son, our own child, and it didn't happen. Laius was killed by persons unknown, foreign robbers, according to the story, at the place where 3 roads meet. As for the child, it was abandoned on a deserted mountain before it was 3 days old by a servant. Kings never commit such acts themselves. To make doubly sure, its ankles were pierced and strapped together with leather thongs. So that prediction didn't come true, in spite of Apollo. The prophecy of parricide wasn't fulfilled. Laius was murdered, but not as he feared, by his own son. The oracle had been unambiguous, its meaning quite plain. So why take notice of these fortune tellers and astrologers? Gods always get their own way, without anyone's help, when they're ready.
Something you said. Jocasta, I remember. My brain's a turmoil. Feelings, memories.
Why do you look at me so strangely? What's the matter?
You said, didn't you, that Laius was butchered at a place where 3 roads meet?
Yes, that was said at the time. It's still the common story.
Where? What country?
place in focus near the junction where the road to Thebes forks to Daulia and Delphi.
And how long ago did all this happen?
You hadn't arrived. The news became public a short while before you became king.
Oh, Zeus. What will you do to me?
Oedipus, you look terrified. What have I said?
Not yet. Don't ask me yet. How old was Laius? What kind of man was he?
Big man, hair graying, about your build.
Dear God, without knowing it, I may have damned myself just a moment ago.
Don't look at me like that. What do you mean?
Maybe Tiresias could see after all. Terrifying. But possible. Tell me one more thing.
Why are you frightening me? I'll tell you everything.
Who was with the king? A few attendants? Or was he traveling in state with servants and armed men?
5 men, all told. One of them, a herald, Laius himself, rode in a carriage.
Nothing could be clearer than that. Every detail. Where did you get this information?
There was one survivor. Eventually he got back to Thebes.
And is he still here now?
No, he isn't. By the time he got back, everything had changed in the city. You were king in Laius' place. When he saw how things were, he came to me and begged me on his knees to let him go back to the country to be a shepherd. He said he wanted to be done with Thebes, out of sight, out of mind. So I let him go. He was a good servant. He deserved better than that.
I want him here. At once. Today. Can we find him?
Of course we can. But why are you so anxious?
Oh, my dear wife. I'm frightened of what I've done. What I'm doing. I've already said far too much. I must see the shepherd. Ask him some questions.
You will see him. We'll send for him. But why are you so worried? You must tell me. I do have a right to know.
Oh, yes. Yes. You have a right to know. If the truth of this is what I think it is, no one has a better right to know than you. I'll tell you the whole story. My father, Oedipus, was Corinth-born, and Merope, my mother, came from Doris. I was an up-and-coming fellow, very much the man to watch, until one day an odd thing happened. An astonishing thing which caused more trouble, perhaps, than it merited, but which I took seriously. At a banquet one day, a man who had drunk too much jeered at me and said I was not my father's son. I was very hurt. Angry and insulted, but I kept it to myself for the rest of that day. The next morning, I went to my parents, both father and mother together, and asked them question after question, almost compelling them to tell me the truth. They were very angry that anyone should dare say such a thing and put my mind at rest as best they could. But a thing like that gets under your skin. I couldn't forget it. And the story got around a good deal, as these things do. So, without telling my parents, I went to the oracle at Delphi. I got no answer to the question I asked. A catalogue of horrors and miseries instead. That I would marry my own mother and father children on her, conceived incestuously, and become a public outcast for it, notorious throughout the world. As if this weren't enough, I would kill my own father. What could I do? I ran as fast and as far from Corinth as any man could, always checking my distance from that forbidden city by the position of the stars, so that those dreadful prophecies could not possibly come true. The route I took brought me into that part of the country where, according to you, Laius was murdered. Now listen, Jocasta, this is the truth in every detail. I reached a place where 3 roads meet. I was confronted by a herald, ahead of a carriage drawn by horses and carrying a passenger, just as you described, grey-haired, my build. The man in front shouted at me to clear the road, and the old man, too, rudely ordered me to get out of his way. The driver barged into me, so I hit him hard. I was furious by now, uncontrollable, but the old man in the carriage was watching for his chance. He waited till I passed him, and then he struck me full on the head with his 2-pronged stick, the kind you use for goading the horses to make them gallop. I paid him back with interest and double quick. I whacked him savagely with my staff and knocked him out of the carriage. He fell flat in the road. The others attacked me, of course, and I killed them, every one. Now, if that old man was remotely connected with Laius, if the king's blood ran in his veins, Is there any man on earth more miserable than I am? Every god will hate me, and all men. No one will speak to me, friend or stranger. No one will take me into his house. I cursed the murderer, and the weight of that curse now falls on me. These same hands that murdered him have fondled his wife. Was I cursed from the beginning then? A filthy, corrupted thing, infecting the city, deserving exile if anyone deserves it. Now I am cast out from Thebes, denied the sight of my wife and children, forbidden never to return to my home in Corinth. No, never again can I go back there, for fear that the oracle's prophecies might be fulfilled, and that I should somehow marry my mother and kill my father Oedipus, who nurtured me and gave me life. The immortals, I suppose, have devised this inhuman scenario to amuse themselves. But listen, gods, as you revel in the purity of your power over human affairs, I shall do my best to deprive you of that pleasure. Never will that day come if I can prevent it. I'd rather die with every memory of my existence blotted out from the face of the earth than live to see such dreadful things come true and be shamed, branded, and notorious before humanity.
Your story is terrifying, great king.
But don't give up hope. There was an eyewitness. Until you've questioned him and say nothing.
The shepherd is my last chance. I'll cling to that.
Even when he gets here, what possible help can he be?
One detail, and it's crucial. If his story corroborates yours, I am proved innocent.
What detail? Does it matter? What did I say?
In your version of the shepherd's evidence, the king was killed by robbers. Robbers, plural. Now, if he says the same, still calls them robbers, I'm in the clear. One man is not a group of men. Plural is plural, not singular. But if he describes a single traveler walking alone, then quite obviously, all the evidence will point to me.
Oh, but he did say that. I'm certain. He can't change his story now. He spoke in public. The whole city heard him. And even if his evidence varies in detail, by no possible stretch of the imagination can he pretend that Laius died as predicted. A son of mine would kill him, the oracle said, and it didn't happen. My poor little boy killed no one. He was the one who died years before any of this happened. That's how much oracles are worth. In future, whatever they say, one way or the other, I won't waste my time with any of them.
That's the truth of the matter. But we'll speak to the shepherd. Send someone to fetch him now, this minute.
At once. We'll get him at once. Come inside. I'll do nothing without your approval. Nothing.